A new initiative seeks to defend free speech for professors on college campuses. The Academic Freedom Alliance was formed earlier this month. The group arose from discussions among faculty at Princeton University on how to counter what they see as growing intolerance towards differing viewpoints. Joining us now, he is one of the faculty members instrumental in the creation of the Academic Freedom Alliance, Professor Robert George, McCormick Professor of Jurisprudence and Director of the James Madison Program in American Ideals and Institutions at Princeton University. Professor George, welcome back. Always so great to be with you. As National Review noted earlier this month, it's one thing to complain about cancel culture, but it's another to fight it. Tell us, how will your group work to combat cancel culture and also preserve free speech?
Our group is an alliance of professors from across the country and from across the ideological spectrum. There are people on the conservative side, people on the progressive or liberal side, people in the center, and then the people that I call the non-classifiables. But we are united under the principle that we borrowed from Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, and that is the principle that we will regard an attack on one as an attack on all. We'll defend free speech for everyone on campus by vowing that if someone comes under attack for the legitimate expression of their opinions, and a mob forms, whether it's on Twitter or other social media, whether it's on the campus, to demand unjustified disciplinary action against that person, we will stand with that person. We will make sure that that person is supported both morally and from our legal defense fund financially in case legal support is needed. Academics often can't afford the kind of costs that are involved with litigation, and that means that often their rights, when they come under attack, go undefended. We want to stop that. We want to rectify that situation so that a message can be sent to university administrators that if you cave to the outrage mob and violate the principle of academic freedom on which the truth-seeking ministry or truth-seeking mission of colleges and universities so vitally depends, you're going to pay a price for that. You're going to pay a price in court if necessary.
Can you talk about your Catholic faith and the role that it plays for you, as far as defending free speech?
Sure. Of course, the Academic Freedom Alliance is an alliance of people of many, many different faiths and shades of belief, people who are believers, people who are not believers. I myself am a Catholic, and so part of my motivation is rooted in my faith. And my faith teaches me that truth-seeking is one of the essential parts of our human nature. It's an aspect of our well-being and fulfillment, seeking the truth for its own sake. And another thing that is emphasized, especially in the Second Vatican Council, I would point especially to the document Dignitatis Humanae on religious freedom, is the importance of freedom as a condition of the truth-seeking enterprise. We cannot seek the truth about God and about man and about God's relationship to man and about the important things of life, important values, issues of morality and justice. We cannot truly seek those apart from the freedom that we have to enjoy in order to ask the questions, answer them honestly, live by our best lights with integrity and authenticity in light of our best judgments. So it's in part my own Catholic faith in my particular case that motivates me to stand up for and protect the freedoms that we need for the truth-seeking mission, both the mission of individual scholars as our vocation. Truth-seeking is what we do. It's what guides our lives. And the truth-seeking mission of universities, institutions that are devoted to scholarly research and teaching for the sake of the truth.
Robbie, I want to switch gears just a little bit here, and I want to talk about freedom of the press. Some say it's now being restricted under the Biden administration with the lack of transparency and access at the U.S.-Mexico border. What's your take on that, and what's at stake when we do restrict the press?
Well, here we have to be careful. I mean, our founding fathers were very clear, and they were very right in saying that an unrestricted press is essential to the functioning of Republican government, self-government, what we today call democracy. The people can't rule themselves, govern themselves, determine their own fates without the information that they need in order to make good decisions. And when government blocks access to that information, it puts us in jeopardy. It puts our Republican form of government in jeopardy. Now, there are sometimes legitimate reasons, Tracy, for government to restrict access from media and others to sensitive information and activities. And we've got to honor that. We have to not treat every government restriction as if it's a grave violation of freedom of the press, but we have to be very vigilant in ensuring that no pretext is being invoked here, that the restrictions on access are not a pretext for the government operating out of sight and disabling us from having the information that we need in order to make good decisions. And the problem with some of the Biden administration policies down at the border is they don't smell very good. It looks like they're not passing the smell test. They're looking more like pretexts to restrict access to information for political and ideological reasons than good faith needs for confidentiality or blocking access to the media so that the government can effectively accomplish the mission that we have government to do. So it's a question of whether there's a real justification or whether we've got a pretext here. Things are not looking good.
Okay, well, Professor Robert George, thank you so much for coming on. We always appreciate your time.